What if the universe's purest hero was thrown into a pit of absolute malice? Instead of dying against Raditz, Goku fell through a dimensional tear into the demon realm. The light died, and the nightmare began. "Where am I?" Goku muttered, rubbing his head. The sky was bleeding purple, and the air felt like breathing hot ash. There was no King Yema here. Just endless, jagged rocks and hungry shadows. Goku tried to sense Krillin or Gohan. Nothing. It felt like someone had thrown a lead blanket over his ki. Well, better find some food, he laughed nervously. But absolutely nothing grew here. A pack of lower demons ambushed him within the hour. Gargoyles with razor claws and venomous fangs. Goku dodged, smiling. "Oh, a warm-up! Just what I needed." He didn't know the rules yet. He punched one, expecting it to fly backward. Instead, his fist hissed, burning upon contact with its cursed skin. Goku yelped, jumping back. Okay, that's definitely a new trick. That burns. He couldn't rely on normal martial arts. The demon realm drained pure ki like a parasite. By day 3, Goku wasn't smiling anymore. The hunger was agonizing. The isolation was much worse. He found an underground cavern glowing with sickly green moss. He ate it. It tasted like battery acid and despair, but it kept him alive. Goku's innocence was slowly starving in the dark. Weeks bled into months. Time moved differently here. A century could pass while Earth blinked. Goku wrapped his torn orange G around his fists. He stopped fighting for fun. He fought to survive. The demons realized this mortal wasn't prey. He was a predator. They sent bigger monsters, behemoths made of brimstone and dark magic. Goku learned to crush their windpipes first. No more fair play. "You fight like a beast, mortal," a smooth, sinister voice echoed. Dabura, the Demon King, floated down, a sadistic smirk on his face. Goku didn't wave. He just glared, eyes hardened into ice. "I just want to go home," Goku grunted, dropping a demon's carcass. Dabura laughed, drawing his wicked sword. "Home? You belong to the abyss now. Let me show you your place." Dabura lunged. The speed was unreal. Goku barely dodged, a thin line of blood opening on his cheek. His standard ki blasts fizzled out against Dabura's dark aura. He was completely outmatched. Dabura spat, his petrifying saliva soaring toward Goku. "Dodge this, monkey!" Goku rolled, watching the stone behind him turn to gray ash. One hit, and he'd be an ugly lawn ornament forever. Goku realized standard Super Saiyan wouldn't work here. The golden light was a beacon for dark magic. He needed to adapt, to blend in. He closed his eyes, reaching for the ambient dark ki. "Giving up?" Dabura mocked, raising his blade for the kill. Smart boy. But the air around Goku suddenly dropped in temperature. The purple sky cracked. The earth beneath them violently shattered. Goku screamed. It wasn't his usual heroic roar. It was a guttural, terrifying shriek. His aura didn't burst into gold. It exploded into a violent, churning crimson, laced with black lightning. "What is this power?" Dabura gasped, stepping back. Goku opened his eyes. They weren't the gentle eyes of Earth's defender. They glowed solid, piercing red. The demon realm had forged something entirely new. Goku vanished. Not super speed, just gone. He reappeared directly behind the Demon King. "You talk too much," Goku whispered, his voice distorted, layered with a menacing echo. Dabura froze in sheer terror. With a brutal axe kick, Goku buried Dabura into the bedrock. The crater spanned miles. No triumphant smile. No offer of a Senzu Bean. Goku stood over the king, cold, calculating, and ruthless. "I yield," Dabura choked out, coughing purple blood. Goku stared down at him. "How do I leave this place?" he demanded, his crimson aura flaring like a living nightmare. Dabura pointed trembling fingers toward a distant, jagged peak. "The Hellgate? Only supreme dark power can open it." Goku didn't thank him. He just kicked Dabura into unconsciousness and took off flying. The journey to the Hellgate took years in Demon Realm time. Goku fought warlords, dark wizards, and nightmares that would make Frieza wet the bed. His orange gi rotted away, replaced by dark leathers. The innocence of Goku was gone. The man who spared Vegeta and Piccolo had been burned away by systemic darkness. What remained was a Saiyan warrior stripped to his absolute primal core. He finally reached the Hellgate, a massive, swirling vortex of black magic guarded by spectral dragons. Time to see if this new trick works, Goku muttered, charging a Kamehameha. But the energy was pitch black. Dark Kamehameha, he roared. The black beam tore through the spectral dragons and shattered the Hellgate. A blinding white light spilled through the crack. Earth. He could finally feel Earth. Meanwhile, back on Earth, things were looking like a totally different anime. It had been 10 years since Goku vanished. Without him, the androids hadn't just won. They had practically thrown a parade. Cell had achieved his perfect form unopposed. He stood over a ruined city, laughing as Vegeta lay broken at his feet. Is this the legendary Saiyan prince? How utterly disappointing, Cell mocked. Teen Gohan, wearing Piccolo's demon clothes, charged with tears in his eyes. Leave my father's friends alone, he screamed. But Gohan hadn't had Goku in the time chamber. He was woefully underprepared. Cell backhanded the boy effortlessly. Gohan crashed through 3 skyscrapers before stopping. Such a waste of potential, Cell sighed, cracking his knuckles. I suppose I'll just destroy this miserable planet now. Piccolo lay bleeding out next to Krillin. We failed him, Piccolo rasped. Goku? I'm sorry. It was a scene straight out of a tragedy. No hope, no miracles. Just the cold end of the line. But then, the sky above Cell turned violently purple. The clouds spiraled inward, ripping open like a fresh wound. Red lightning crashed down, vaporizing city blocks. Cell paused, tilting his head in confusion. What is this energy? Vegeta gasped, clutching his ribs. It's pure malice. It feels like 1,000 dying stars. The Z-fighters froze. This wasn't salvation. It felt like a new villain just spawned. A figure stepped out of the portal. Tall, muscular, wrapped in a tattered black cloak over dark, battle-worn pants. Spiky black hair, swaying in the violent wind. Glowing red eyes locked onto Cell. Dad? Gohan whispered, barely able to see through his swollen eyes. The figure didn't turn around. He just stared at the devastation, at the broken bodies of his friends. His silence was deafening. Well, Cell smirked. Another challenger? You look awfully familiar. Have you come to die with the rest of this trash? Cell was arrogant, but his internal sensors were screaming, red alert. Goku finally spoke. His voice was deeper, raspy from years of screaming in the dark. You talk too much, the exact words he said to Dabura. The temperature in the city instantly plummeted to freezing. Goku vanished. No instant transmission sound, just absolute silence. Before Cell could even blink, Goku was standing directly behind him. Cell's eyes widened in sheer, unadulterated panic. Impossible! The bioandroid choked. Goku didn't monologue. He didn't test Cell's power. He grabbed the Bugman by his stupid head horn and brutally slammed him face first into the concrete. The resulting shockwave leveled the remaining city blocks. Kakarot! Vegeta screamed, his jaw hitting the floor. What happened to you? But Goku ignored him. He lifted a dazed Cell by the throats, staring into his eyes with absolute freezing indifference. Cell panicked, blasting a point-blank death beam straight into Goku's chest. Smoke cleared. Goku hadn't even flinched. The beam had completely fizzled out against a thin layer of dark crimson aura. My turn, Goku muttered. He punched Cell in the gut. It wasn't a clean martial arts strike. It was a savage, bone-crushing blow that made Cell vomit up Android 18 instantly. Cell devolving into his semi-perfect form, screaming in agony. You monster! Cell cried, crawling backward. Goku tilted his head. Monster? I survived the demon realm. You're just a bug. Goku didn't let Cell power up. He didn't give him a Senzu Bean. He stomped on Cell's knee, shattering it with a sickening crunch. The Z-fighters watched in absolute horror. This wasn't their Goku. Goku, stop! You've won! Krillin yelled, terrified. Goku glanced at Krillin, his red eyes burning right through him. No, Krillin. In the realm, if they breathe, they come back. Goku raised his hand. A sphere of pitch-black energy formed, crackling with red lightning. Hakish. It wasn't a Kamehameha. It was a spell of pure erasure he learned from the dark grimoires. Cell screamed as the black energy consumed him entirely, erasing every single cell from existence. No glorious beam struggle. No dramatic final words. Just a brutal, efficient execution. Silence fell over the wasteland. The threat was gone, but the tension was higher than ever. Goku turned around to face his friends. His dark aura faded, but the scars and the coldness in his eyes remained permanent. Gohan slowly stood up, trembling. Dad, is it really you? Goku looked at his son. A flicker of his old self crossed his face. He offered a small, broken smile. Yeah, Gohan, I'm home. The reunion was awkward. Bulma threw a massive feast, but Goku didn't gorge himself like a cartoon character. He ate slowly, his back to the wall, constantly watching the exits. He had trauma. Vegeta cornered him outside. I don't care what hell you crawled out of, Kakarot. I am still the prince. Vegeta ignited his Super Saiyan aura. Goku just sighed, looking exhausted. Put it away, Vegeta, Goku said quietly. You don't want this smoke. But Vegeta swung anyway. Goku didn't even block. He just flared his red aura for a microsecond. Vegeta froze, paralyzed by pure fear. Vegeta dropped to his knees, gasping for air. He felt like he had just stared into the jaws of a primordial beast. Goku walked past him. I told you, we're not playing games anymore. The world was safe, but the dynamic had shifted. Goku wasn't a cheerful sparring partner. He was Earth's Grim Reaper. Piccolo found him meditating on a cliff, wrapped in dark energy. You brought something back with you, Piccolo grunted, sitting nearby. Goku opened one red eye. I brought back what I needed to survive. The universe isn't a tournament, Piccolo. It's a slaughterhouse. Months passed. The peace was quiet, but fragile. Goku trained Gohan, but it wasn't the gentle, encouraging training of the past. It was brutal, relentless combat. Dodge, or you die, Goku shouted. Gohan cried, exhausted and bruised. You're not my dad. My dad wouldn't do this. Gohan flared his ki, accidentally tapping into Super Saiyan 2 out of sheer emotional distress. Goku just smirked. Good, Goku nodded, wiping blood from his own lip. Anger keeps you alive. Kindness gets you killed.
Hold on to that. Gohan realized Goku wasn't being cruel for fun.
He was genuinely terrified of losing them. Then, the sky darkened again. Not the demon realm this time. The Supreme Kai arrived, looking panicked. Goku, Majin Buu is awakening. We need your help to stop Babidi, the Kai begged. Goku stood up, cracking his neck. Babidi, a wizard. A dark, nostalgic grin spread across Goku's face. I know how to deal with wizards. Supreme Kai shivered. This mortal felt darker than the villain. They traveled to Babidi's ship. Supreme Kai expected a stealth mission. Goku just kicked the front door off its hinges, strolling in like he owned the place. Hey, wizard, come out and play, he shouted. Babidi's minions swarmed him. Pui Pui laughed. Welcome to my home field. The gravity here is... Goku grabbed Pui Pui's face and crushed his skull before he could finish the sentence. Next, Goku muttered. Supreme Kai watched in horror. Goku, we must be careful. They are under Babidi's control. Goku didn't stop walking. Control means they're a weapon. I break weapons. He was a ruthless force of nature. Yakon, the beast that eats light, jumped from the shadows. I will consume your energy. Yakon roared. Goku smirked. Eat up, buddy. Goku unleashed his dark demonic ki. It wasn't light. It was pure toxicity. Yakon gorged on the dark energy, but suddenly started choking. The demonic ki was corrosive. Yakon exploded from the inside out, unable to digest the sheer malice of the demon realm. Goku didn't even break stride. They reached the bottom level. Babidi stood there, hiding behind Dabura. The Demon King had been resurrected and mind-controlled. Dabura sneered, You again! My masters made me far stronger! Goku burst out laughing. It was a cold, haunting sound. Dabura, you're a king, and you let a little gremlin put an M on your forehead? You're pathetic. Goku's red eyes flared. Dabura charged, swinging his demonic blade. Goku caught at the blade with his bare hand. The metal hissed, melting against Goku's dark aura. I beat you when I was weak. What do you think happens now? Goku snapped the sword, drove his knee into Dabura's chest, and blasted a black ki wave directly through the Demon King's heart. Dabura crumpled, dead before he hit the floor. Babidi shrieked in terror. Please, I'll give you anything! Power! Wealth! Babidi begged, scrambling backward. Goku stepped on the wizard's hands, crushing them. I already have power, and I don't need money. Goku raised his boot. Crunch. Babidi was gone. The threat of Majin Buu was literally stomped out before the egg could even hatch. Supreme Kai stood paralyzed. You just murdered them in cold blood. Goku turned to the Kai, his expression unreadable. I saved your universe. You can send me a thank you card later. He turned his back, walking away. The universe was safe, but the savior was terrifying. Back on Earth, Goku tried to integrate. He went fishing, tried farming. But the quiet drove him crazy. He was a war dog who didn't know how to be a pet anymore. He missed the edge. Chi-Chi noticed. She didn't tell him to get a job. She just held his hand one night. You're physically here, Goku, but your soul is still in the dark. Goku couldn't look her in the eye. I can't turn it off, Chi-Chi, he whispered. Every time I close my eyes, I see teeth in the dark. I have to stay sharp. If I get soft, they'll kill you all. The trauma ran deep. Then, Beerus awoke. The god of destruction came to Earth searching for a Super Saiyan god. He arrived at Capsule Corp, expecting a legend. Instead, he found Goku, radiating an energy that felt eerily familiar. You, Beerus pointed a clawed finger at Goku. You reek of the demon realm. How did a mortal Saiyan marinate in that filth? Goku stood up, instantly shifting into a combat stance. By surviving. Which smiled, intrigued. Oh my. He has completely absorbed ambient dark energy into his mortal coils. Fascinating. Beerus wasn't amused. It's unnatural. A Saiyan should rely on godly ki, not demonic garbage. Let's test that, Goku smirked. He didn't ask for a friendly spar. He went straight into his dark Super Saiyan form. The sky turned blood red. The ocean recoiled. Even Beerus raised an eyebrow. Goku rushed the god of destruction. The collision shook the entire solar system. Beerus blocked, but he actually grimaced. Heavy. Your punches feel like concentrated hatred. Beerus struck back, sending Goku through a mountain. Goku emerged from the rubble, wiping blood from his cheek. He was smiling. A real, genuine smile. Finally, someone who can take a hit. For the first time since returning, Goku felt alive. The fight escalated. No Super Saiyan God ritual. Just demonic Saiyan versus God of destruction. Goku fought dirty, using instant transmission to blindside Beerus, throwing ki blasts meant to maim, not push. Beerus caught Goku's fist. You're a pragmatic fighter. I respect that, but you lack refinement. Beerus flicked Goku's forehead with Hakai energy. The blast sent Goku hurtling into the stratosphere. Goku caught himself, panting heavily. His demonic aura was flickering. Damn, he's on a totally different level. Goku realized raw savagery wasn't enough against a true deity. He needed to focus. Goku closed his eyes. He stopped projecting the chaotic demonic energy outward and pulled it inward. He condensed the massive, violent crimson aura into a razor-thin, suffocatingly dense black outline around his body. Oh, Whis clapped his hands. He's achieving a state similar to God Ki, but using pressure. How incredibly dangerous. Goku opened his eyes. They were no longer glowing red. They were pitch black. Goku moved. Beerus actually missed the dodge. Goku's fist buried into Beerus's gut, causing the god to cough up spit. The Z-fighters below couldn't even track the movements. It was just shockwaves in the sky. Beerus wiped his mouth, a massive grin spreading across his feline face. Now that's what I'm talking about! Show me the true power of the abyss, mortal. The two clashed again, tearing reality at the seams. They fought until they were both exhausted. Goku dropped out of his form, plummeting toward the ocean. Beerus caught him by the collar, hovering midair. You fight like a demon, but you protect like a god. Goku laughed, coughing up water. Did I win? Beerus scoffed, dropping him into the sea. Don't flatter yourself, but you earned your planet's survival, and maybe a training invitation. Goku floated on the waves, staring at the blue sky. He wasn't the innocent hero anymore. He was scarred, brutal, and eternally touched by darkness. But he had protected his home. That's all that mattered. Whis offered to train him. We can purify that dark energy, Goku. Teach you true divine ki. Goku shook his head. Nah. This darkness kept me alive. I'm going to master it. Make it mine. Vegeta, overhearing this, gritted his teeth. I won't let you leave me behind, Kakarot. If you're using demonic power, I'll just have to master God Ki and crush you. The rivalry was back on. The dynamic of the universe had forever changed. Goku wasn't a beacon of pure hope anymore. He was a terrifying deterrent. Villains didn't come to Earth seeking a challenge. They avoided it out of sheer terror. Frieza was resurrected years later, planning his grand revenge. He arrived on Earth with a massive army. Frieza stepped out of his ship, laughing. "Where is that miserable monkey?" "I demand to see him!" Goku appeared instantly. He didn't say a word. He just unleashed his dense, suffocating black aura. Frieza's army instantly collapsed, foaming at the mouth from the sheer terror of Goku's spiritual pressure. Frieza's smug grin vanished. He felt his knees buckle. The trauma of Namek paled in comparison to the absolute dread standing in front of him. "What are you?" Frieza stammered, stepping back. Goku walked slowly toward the galactic tyrant. "I'm the reason you should have stayed in hell." With a single casual wave of his hand, a black Hakish wave erased Frieza and his entire ship. No drawn-out fight, no golden transformations, just swift, absolute judgment. Goku looked up at the sky, his dark aura fading back into his body. Earth was safe, and it would stay safe forever. The cheerful hero of Earth was dead. In his place stood a guardian forged in the endless abyss. He loved his family, but he would never hesitate to pull the trigger again. The Demon Saiyan. And honestly, any story where Goku stops playing with his food and just handles business is a wild ride. Would you want to see this brutal Demon Goku in canon? Hope that didn't ruin your childhood. Catch you next time.